Welcome to this deep dive. We're tackling something pretty universal today, and something that can be really frustrating, arguments.
Hmm.
You know, those times when you just feel stuck or like you're talking past each other, it often just feels like a mess.
Absolutely. And the material we're looking at really gets to the heart of it. It asks this great question. Do you argue intelligently?
That's interesting.
Yeah. And it suggests that, arguing isn't always this deliberate thing we do. Sometimes it's more of like a basic reflex.
A reflex. Okay, hang on. So, like, not conscious.
Kind of. The idea is it can stem from that primal sort of fight or flight response we get when we feel, challenged or attacked.
Ah,
But
right.
the source points out just reacting constantly like that, it's exhausting, and it doesn't really get you anywhere useful. In
Okay.
fact, the good news, it says, is just spotting that reflex in yourself. That's kind of the first step. Then you can start to manage it, learn better ways.
So there's hope. It sounds like the source sees arguing, when done right, as actually a really important skill.
Exactly. It's how we flag what matters to us, right? How we work through disagreements, maybe even change things.
And influence outcomes, yeah.
Right. And someone who gets good at intelligent argument, the source suggests, can navigate tricky situations much better. Think work, relationships, public stuff.
Hmm.
But the trick isn't just being argumentative all the time. It's learning how to argue smart, moving beyond that knee-jerk reaction.
And that's where this framework comes in. The source lays out different levels of arguing.
Precisely. It sets up this kind of hierarchy, starting from the really ineffective ways people fight and moving upwards. And it doesn't mince words about the bottom rungs.
Yeah.
Calls them, like, idiotic ways to argue.
Ooh, okay. So what are those?
Well, they highlight just how useless those lower levels are,
Yeah.
like basic name calling, just slinging insults, calling someone an idiot or whatever, with zero substance.
Right. Pure emotion, no actual point.
Exactly. Or the classic ad hominem, attacking the person making the argument instead of the argument itself.
Yeah, like saying, well, you would say that you're always late when they point out a mistake in your report.
Perfect example.
Yeah.
You're dodging the issue by attacking them. Then there's just reacting to tone, like yelling, "Stop shouting at me!"
Yeah.
to avoid what they're actually saying, even if they are passionate.
The tone police.
Kind of.
Yeah.
Or just flat-out contradiction with nothing to back it up, saying, no, it isn't, just because. Basically arguing for argument's sake. We've all seen that.
Oh, for sure. Guilty as charged sometimes, probably. Okay, so that's the basement level stuff. How do we climb out?
Well, the next step up, according to this, is counter-argument.
Hmm.
So you still contradict, but you actually give some kind of reason or evidence.
Okay, a little better.
Yeah, it's an improvement because you're starting to engage with the idea, not just the person or the tone. You're adding something.
Got it. Adding substance.
Then you get to refutation. This is getting more sophisticated. Here, you find a specific problem, like a flaw, in what the other person said, and you explain why it's wrong.
So you have to point out their mistake clearly.
Right. Often means quoting them or summing up their point fairly and then showing the issue with their logic or facts, actual listening.
Ah, yeah. You can't refute what you haven't understood.
Critically important, yes.
Yeah.
And then the top level, the most effective, according to this material, is refuting the central point,
The main idea.
the absolute core of their whole argument. You identify that and you challenge that directly. You bring your own evidence, your own logic, maybe research or even relevant experience to back up your counterposition.
Wow. Okay, so it's a journey from just like raw reaction and attacks through disagreeing with a bit of backup,
Right.
all the way to really engaging with taking apart and challenging the fundamental ideas with actual reasons.
Yeah.
That's a big shift.
It really is. And knowing this structure exists, it kind of changes how you might look at disagreements, doesn't it? It stops being just a fight and starts being maybe a way to test ideas.
So the big takeaway then, for me anyway, it feels like argumentativeness isn't just some fixed personality flaw. It's something you can actually learn, practice, get better at. Move from those idiotic reactions towards something more intelligent.
I think that's exactly it. Just being able to spot, okay, this is just name calling versus, they're actually trying to refute my point here. That gives you power. It helps you see why some arguments go nowhere and how others might actually, possibly, lead somewhere constructive.
Yeah.
And this isn't just for like formal debates or something. It's everyday stuff.
Yeah.
Family, work, online. You start seeing these levels play out.
Totally. So here's something to think about. How might trying consciously to shift just one level up this hierarchy, How might that change your next difficult conversation? And what does this whole idea tell us about communication generally? The importance of really listening, understanding, and backing up what you say.
Yeah, definitely food for thought there.
It really is. Well, thanks for joining us on this deep dive into the messy but maybe improvable world of how we argue.